If you haven't watched it yet, Itaewon Class is a K-drama for the people who don't necessarily like K-dramas. It's a great intro into the format because it has a little bit of that love story that everyone loves, but it also has a lot of action if you're into that. But one thing is for sure is that the food scenes in this series is absolutely insane. Well, it's about kind of like the restaurant business. And there are two dishes in particular that stand out, and that's the soft tofu stew and the pork stir fry that they talk about so much. So these are very, very quick dishes, guys. It's very simple cooking, and that's what I love about them. It's because they have such depth of flavor, but it's just really fast to put together. After some research, I saw online that you can find these in a lot of different simple pubs all over Korea. And so that means it's quick, it's convenient food, but the flavor is just so interesting. You'll see how he put it together. Literally, what, 15 minutes per dish, but obviously you need to source out the ingredients. Once you have the ingredients, and we're gonna tweak it a little bit, these are not traditional dishes at all. They are actually really easy to make.
맛있게 드세요.
So that's the dish right there that I'm talking about. So the soft tofu stew does look like a traditional one with seafood. I've actually never made one of those. I've only made a kimchi jjigae, and I'll show you how to make that in a second. And the second one is a spicy stir-fried pork. This one has bean sprouts, but when they talk about it throughout the season, I'm not sure it actually has bean sprouts, so we're just gonna do a very simple stir-fried pork dish. But that's the inspiration. Now let's see if we can actually make it. Okay, so this is a version of Sundumbu Jjigae, which is what I think they make in the show, and I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce the dish either. You need to start off by making a broth. This can be made in very different ways.
The best way would be to leave some kombu soaking in some water overnight. If you need to do this quickly, get some boiling water in a pot, bring that down to simmer, and then add in some shiitake mushrooms and then your kombu. There are some versions where you could add in some dried anchovies in here. There are versions of this with dasima, radish, and other vegetables. It really comes down to what you want. Get another pot out and sweat out some garlic, soy sauce, and gochugaru. Quickly mix it and make sure not to burn the soy sauce. Throw in your clams and shrimps and just really mix everything together for 3 minutes. Fill it up with your broth. I tried to ladle it at first and then I realized it would be much faster if you just pour it in and strain it. And this will bubble away for 30 minutes before you add your mushrooms, soft tofu, and scallions. Now for the quick pork stir fry. The day before, grate some garlic, ginger, and a whole apple in a bowl. You can also use a Korean pear for this. Mix that with some sesame oil, soy sauce, gochugaru, sugar, gochujang, and some soju. Grab a pork shoulder and cut out most of the skin. You can keep it, but I decided not to. That gets tossed together and is then marinated overnight. The next day, we're gonna chop up some scallions. You can do this literally in any shape that you want. Here are 3 different ways you can chop a scallion. One white onion and some kimchi. By the way, don't make the mistake of chopping up some kimchi on a light surface. You'll have a really bad stain. That's a mistake that I made. Let's get a wok out nice and hot. We're gonna add in some oil, your white onions, and your scallion stalks. Toss in your kimchi and very quickly take it off the fire. You want the veg to still have some crunch. Add some oil back in and fry your pork until the fat is rendered and until it is finally cooked. On our last batch, we're gonna add in some sliced green chili, some scallions, and then right away, the rest of the pork and some toasted sesame seeds.
right, let's start with the pork. Marinating it made it super tender, nice and spicy. This would be perfect with like a bowl of white rice or in some lettuce cups. That's so good, like pure comfort. Next, the soup. It's not supposed to look like this. You're supposed to serve this in the pot. It actually looked so perfect when we were boiling it. And then when I transferred it into the bowl, I was like, oh no, it looks so bad. In Korea, they have these really cool kind of like earthen stoneware pots, I'm guessing. I think it's stoneware, that they use to cook certain stews and dishes. Like when you get a Kimchi Jjigae or something, it comes in that. It's usually black. It looks almost like cast iron. And so that would be served to you with all those fresh ingredients, the mushrooms, the scallions, the tofu, all being put last minute, 1 or 2 minutes on the fire left, and then given to you boiling. And that's why it looks so pretty. I transferred it into the bowl because the smallest pot I had was quite high, so you couldn't really see inside. But that's just all about presentation. Now let's check the flavor. That's good. So this is actually the first time I've ever tried this. Usually when it comes to Korean stews, oh, that's a kick. When it comes to Korean stews, I usually just make and eat Kimchi Jjigae because that's the one I know. It's also a very quick, easy stew to make. But this with the clams and the shrimps and that kombu, that like Korean style dashi makes all the difference. I could finish this whole bowl. And the soft tofu really barely needs to be cooked. Yum. So I hope you enjoyed that video. Very quick recipes. If there's something that you've seen in a K-drama or any kind of local Asian TV show and you've seen the food and it looks good, let us know in the comments and we will try to remake the dishes.